Kia ora, ko Matthew Hobbs tōku ingoa. I'm a senior lecturer above the bar in our Faculty of Health. So I teach across both the undergraduate and postgraduate public health programs, and I also co-direct the GeoHealth Research and Teaching Laboratory. So we know this bike is more than 100 years old. It was used when Charles Whiria first started teaching and doing his research here at the University of Canterbury. He was one of New Zealand's first lecturers in forestry. So this bike was used by him and his students down at the field station in Cass. And it was used as a mode of transport for them to get around. It's received a lot of love over the last 100 years. The seat has been recently renovated along with the tyres. On a personal level, I also have a really old bike, so I think there's an affinity I have with keeping an older object going and trying to keep it going. I mean, it's got a dynamo light on the back of it, which I think, if we think about sustainability and climate change in our natural environment, it doesn't use a battery. So, there are little things that history can teach us moving forward, and I think actually we may see a move back to some of the practices that we see on these old bikes, because they might be more sustainable than what we have in current practice. I think an object as simple as this has many different meanings, and one of the things for Whiria's students and the staff that worked at that field station was it allowed them that connection with nature. It allowed them to explore, to conduct research in that area, but to be physically active at the same time. And I think that's really important, and sometimes history can teach us a really important lesson by looking back in time. And I think that might be something that's lacking at the minute in terms of our current modern day New Zealand society, where we've forgotten the benefits of active travel, of cycling, and we really do have quite a car-orientated city and streetscape, and we know that's not good for our health. At the GeoHealth Research and Teaching Laboratory, one of the things we do is we try and work out how the environment around us is related to our behaviour and our health outcomes. Now, the work that was conducted as part of this bike was actually pioneering in terms of finding some of the spatial landscape and some of the first mapping work that was done within that local area. So what's really cool is that we've actually got a project at the minute in the GeoHealth Lab, which is going back in time to the 1950s, 60s and 70s to try and work out how air pollution then impacts on our health now. And really, we're relying on pioneers like Charles, who developed those early maps to allow us to know what was going on in those environments so that we can still conduct research today. And for me, it's pretty cool that the research that was done on this bike and through those maps in and around Cass is still being used present day and will probably be used many years into the future.